taking his time to find his best shooting opportunity.
Paul with a great fake, and Finney-Smith through by, and Doncic has it in Game 6. Our starters out there, Bridges included with Booker. The 5 for the Suns. Ball through traffic, pick and roll with Ayton. Heavy traffic. Missing 2 right on the doorstep. Wow. 19 points, make it 14 points. 14 for Doncic. Inside Ayton, whacked that by Doncic, and a foul.
And here's Chris Paul. He's calling it.
Reggie, a member of the Mavs coaching staff, told me at halftime, anyone but Booker. That has been their entire theme for this game. Make the other players who were successful all season step up to the plate and put big bodies.
Ball game. Paul slaloms off the screen. Inside Ayton. Easy one at the other end.
Such a great recovery so far from the Mavs after that disappointing second half, Game 5. Stan Van Gundy used to always talk about this, just catch and go, as you see his dad right there.
CP3 draws the foul. He'll get a pair.
But this is just great decision-making.
Straight threes in under 4 minutes in Game 4 for Bertans.
Doncic resting Paul from 15. So Chris Paul has it
To draw Ayton away from that paint area at all times.
Here comes Paul, shifting his way through and finding a gap. It's a rebound by Kleba.
And what it also does, having both Kleba and...
Here comes Chris Paul. Bullock was right there. Ayton goes over Kleba. And that's a shot that he did back in the first series against the Pelicans and in Game 1 here. On the play.
I'd go right back to Ayton on this high double screen. Let him roll and just be patient.
It's Paul to Ayton inside. Shoved and fouled.
See, that's got to be a dunk and one by DeAndre Ayton.
An elbow.
But not enough for them to overturn it, though, Kevin.
Dallas 4 turnovers last 4 minutes. Inside Ayton. Snuck in there. Great feed. 12-0 Phoenix run. And now series against the 8th-seeded Pelicans. Paul. Ayton.
Just missed a chippy right there, right at the rim there for Ayton.
They're keeping on the bench. Halfway through the quarter, Ayton got it. Paul the assist. Chris Paul comes up with his 10th assist on 4 points.
From the corner.
Ball into the front court. Inside Ayton with a little room service.
Yeah, and look, you know that pick and roll with Chris Paul, but watch what are probably going to miss that if he can't get himself back into this game.
Double screen, Ayton on the roll. Chris Paul hit him. And that's going to be back. The Mavericks are on one right now from downtown. 12 of 18 from deep. Chris Paul still hasn't scored. Ayton couldn't snag it. Didn't. Suns with the basketball. Chris Paul has yet to score a point in the ball game. He does have 6 assists. Ayton a little bit strong on that. At some point, we know that he likes to
Close out guy, and then they would knock down shot, putting Rudy Gobert in a tough spot. You got to do the same thing against Ayton.
Chris Paul, light work. CP3 got to his spot.
3 minutes here for both teams.
Ball off the screen by Ayton. Great pocket pass. And the finish by DeAndre Ayton. Lead is down to 12.
Able to, come into Dallas next game and try and get a victory. Go back to Phoenix up 3-1.
Chris Paul misfiring that time out to Booker.
And a rebound claimed by Bridges. It's out to Paul and a fresh shot clock. Powell guards Paul. Chris Paul's got 10. 5th playoff game. The alternate J.B. DeRosa in the replay center. John Goble. And it's a mid-range by Chris Paul. So he's made 15 consecutive shots. Going back to get in there with Ayton and Booker and Bridges. Starting 5 out there for Phoenix. Good feed. Ayton got it. Pounded inside by Bullock and got it to drop. And he's now put in 13 points.
How about the patience there?
Paul dashing outside the circle.
A little bit of a zone action here for the Mavs.
Oof.
Wow.
4 for Paul. Ayton. And back to Chris, who's only taken 3 shots and made 2. Paul with the power. That's a 3. 7 for Chris Paul.
Spencer Dinwiddie, 0 of 4, hasn't scratched the scoring column.
Paul to his right, the bump into Paul. Counted for 2 and a foul. What a pretty play. He's a master at it. Lucas now going to go on Paul. With the screen and a switch and over Cleveland, Paul hits. And he went to his left.
And he can get anywhere he wants shooting.
Paul with 4 to 5. Over Dinwiddie for 3. Got it. Paul has praised the most. Can make some damage.
Well, I love the ball movement here by the Pelicans. Everyone touching the basketball.
They only have 14 assists. Chris Paul, mid-range Jay put in. He's got 2.
Good as Valanciunas been at that high post area, being able to distribute the basketball.
Averaging at least 4 assists a game. Paul again. This is over Hayes, and 2 of 2 begins Chris Paul. He began well in game.
Stay aggressive. We talked about him not shooting the basketball great in this series.
It's Ayton. 3 of 3 for DeAndre Ayton.
Between Ayton and JaVale McGee Griffin, this organization, just because you have a bad workout, you can't solely base that on that. Again, Chris Paul.
4 of 4, Red.
Perfect.
What a start. What a start. Defensive play with his first block tonight. Chris Paul maneuvering around the screen and puts up a beautiful 17-footer. 5 of 5 and 12 for Paul.
If he can make an imprint in here.
Screen by Ayton. Paul finds a gap. The sliver of room is only needs 7 of 7. Chris Paul has
put all this in game 5. Got low in the first half and picked it up in the second.
Zigzagging as Paul finds his spot again. 8 of 8.
Too easy.
Chris Paul.
Way too easy. And what this is doing, Chris Paul is taking over this third quarter. You've seen him in games 1 and 3 taking over the fourth. Right now,
Murphy got screened. Paul has a 3.
That's all
Chris
CP3.
Paul is a flamethrower. What a shot. He's on a roll right now. Got the screen. Takes it through. Chiseling his way. 3. Paul. 10 of 10. He cannot be stopped. Booker with the ball. Bridges outside. And Paul. Screen by Ayton. Chris Paul for the lead for Phoenix.
Continues to be perfect. 11 of 11 from the field.
The Pelicans facing elimination. Paul tries to work his way in. Wiggles his way. The fadeaway. Paul got it.
Man,
1 point Suns lead. And Alvarado's on him. Shot clock at 7. It's Paul. And Ayton. A beautiful pass and a great decision by Chris Paul. Paul comes up with his 7th assist.
Draws the double. Now gets the screen, gets the pocket pass, rolls inside, has to fade up the baseline, and doesn't matter. 2 defenders in his face, knocks it down.
Again, that's his
season at 143. Paul drops it off to Ayton on the drive, collision inside, and they're going to call a charging foul on DA. 4 minutes. 46-35. Paul yo-yos back and forth, off balance, goes down low. Alvarado complaining about some adjustments. Now Jones working defensively against Chris Paul. Paul on a fade back, won't get that one. And it's Ingram who grabs the rebound for New Orleans.
Yeah, it's 2-for-1 opportunity.
Paul with the pocket pass to Ayton. Inside, Leaner, got it. Originally 5th overall pick by the Raptors. Departed before they captured their NBA title. Paul fading back right of the lane. That's normally the sweet spot, drafted out of Georgia Tech.
Yeah, makes big shots.
Paul on a drive, sets up the flyby, gets the look, knocks it down. That is his first points since back in the second quarter. 2. Valanciunas chasing inside. DA. Acted foul by McCollum. That'll put Ayton at the line. Paul gets the screen. Sets up the little flyby on Alvarado.
And he'll destroy him if he can just get to that spot. Right?
Seconds. Suns by 7. Coming off the Ayton screen. Gets to the elbow. Ingram with a rebound.
Something to watch. He wanted a better start for his Pelican team. Quarters 1 and 2. Slow starts for New Orleans.
Ayton takes the shot, and although those fingers are taped on that left hand. Chris Paul, 28 points last game, 17 points the game before. Fourth quarter's the news, and there he goes, driving right inside with the burst for 2.
Talks to Willie regularly throughout the season, despite the fact that they're on different teams now. And guys, Monty and Willie lean on each other. They even pray together through the highs and lows of life and basketball. And to be back together.
Chris Paul, 19 points in the fourth quarter Friday night. Dribbles out of the double team. Keeps coming. Drops it off to Ayton. Beautiful jump hook.
Great catch at the end.
Off the inbound. Paul, pocket pass. Ayton gets it back. And delivers the high percentage finish. Suns catch a big break right there. Want him.
Paul being guarded by the rookie Herbert Jones, who's been a great defender all year. And Paul misses his opening jump shot. Jones picking up CP3, three-quarter court. Ayton with the show and go. Tough shot.
Come on now, that's a big-time move by your center. Nice, efficient use of the dribble. As his coach described him to us, is elite on the defensive end. You've seen it all year. And look at the work that Ayton is doing early. Back-to-back touches, back-to-back buckets.
McCollum fights over the screen, and Chris Paul says, too late.
Nobody gets to their spot. They're like
7. Send the screen baseline. Wide open shot for Ayton, and he is cooking. The Crisco's starting to bubble already. He's in double-digit scoring with New Orleans organization. Spoke with David Griffin and some other folks. Ayton missing the short jump hook. And when he finally arrived, CJ did, and ball snakes around the screen. Ayton drives on Valanciunas and knocks down a little jump hook. He's got 23. Jones guarding Paul. CP3 with all kinds of tricks.
Wow.
And it ends in an Ayton slam.
How does he thread the needle, and how does Ayton have the kind of hands necessary?
And gets it back. Little low pick and roll game. Chris Paul, bucket.
Just easy for him. Navigates to his...
Down to 7 for Chris Paul against Ingram. Good screen by Ayton. That's his spot, the elbow, and he converts it. Light work for CP3. Summer.
String them together, stretches of points here without CJ and Brandon touching it.
Chris Paul, light work. Like a drill out there for the veteran.
Minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the third.
Paul snakes the screen, raising up. Repeat, and the remix by CP3.
McCollum was 0 for 9 when Bridges was the primary defender on Sunday. Chris with a little dribble hesitation gets that teardrop too strong with that one.
Shots they missed. This team is only going to go as far as those 2.
9 of 25 from the field on Sunday for CJ. 3 of 8 from downtown. Is that one too strong?
Two-way players.
Well, we've already seen the adjustment tonight with Herb Jones starting on Booker. He started on Chris on Sunday. And DA gets his first touch, gets his first bucket.
Jackson Hayes.
Paul from beyond the arc. Down it goes. First bucket of the night for C.
It's Ayton over Valanciunas. Kind of fun to watch. Frustrating game 1, even though the numbers were lofty. Paul with a spinning shot. Valanciunas with the rebound. He's got 10. A better winning percentage on the road than any other team had at home in their winning percentage. Paul, mid-range shot, which is his specialty.
Saw a lot of that in the second half. You know, when you got these young athletes on the floor here, if you can score quickly before Phoenix can set up this defense.
Paul again, same position setting up. Valanciunas has it. There for the jam. The feed to Ingram, who's playing on a bad wheel. We'll show you that in a second. Paul from 16. So New Orleans was on an unbelievable
and played.
Wow. It's Paul, jersey untucked. He's got business. And he fades away over McCollum, who gets the loose ball. And the Pelicans have changed their whole.
Phoenix Suns have responded without Booker. But if you're Willie Green and the Pelicans, this is an opportunity.
Oh, they go up high that time for Ayton.
12 assists for CP3. Beautiful ball movement, which is starting with this high screen and roll with Valanciunas.
It's Paul taking it inside and hitting two.
He's point. 3 of 3 from downtown for Ingram.
It's Paul with an Ayton screen and defended by Jones. Beautiful shot.
Rebounding. You don't win 64 games by accident.
Right.
But it's the toughest part of the game.
Beautiful pocket pass from Paul to Ayton. Bounding advantage for New Orleans. And not a big surprise because of the big bodies they put down there. 9-2 advantage on the glass as Paul sticks a little 17-footer.
Well,
Valanciunas getting 1 of 2. Paul working on the irritant Alvarado. DA, he'll take the 3, and he'll make the 3.
it's almost like Chris Paul said, go ahead and take it closer.
13 first half points for DA. Gets the feed inside. McCollum sneaking baseline, gets the steal.
DA just got to know. He's got to know, guys. And so you know they got a tongue lashing. You know that they will look at film. Suns have to come out here and make sure they do just what they just did right there.
A precision pass from the point guard. His 6th assist. Ayton with 14 double-doubles in his 22 career playoff games, all coming, of course, last season. Paul with a step back.
No.
My goodness, put the wiggle on him.
No, he didn't do that.
Of course, a tough shot and a miss, but you've got to find a way to come up with a rebound.
You got to get the ball. It's almost like a Bill Russell block shot, right? His block shots always led to a break, like not out of bounds. Where they take them in that huddle, and I think they're going to be more aggressive on him now.
Alvarado trying to do his best to be a deterrent. Paul gets the contact, keeps cooking.
Oh, they're too small. 3 to 4 minutes. And that's why the Suns' record is what it is, because they know how to close.
Paul with a pocket pass. DA leaves it short, and the foul up and in. Big offense.
There's going to be a lot of good film watching tomorrow for both sides.
Paul, leaner inside with the kiss. He's got a few comments with the rookie, Joe.
Mitchell starts this game 0 for 4. Conley 0 for 3. Paul, that's what he does so well, Phil, and that's why he has a career season from 2.
Step back.
Ayton in the paint. Again, the bounce, and it drops in. So Ayton's on the board. Gomez off the bench. Chris Paul. Torrey Craig is checked in. Ayton against Gobert. Picks up a shot out, and Gobert is there. Put 2 hands on it. 6 rebounds in the half now.
So much if you start as if you finish. Jordan Clarkson's doing a nice job.
Chris Paul inside and the dunk. Ayton. And that stops a 14-0 run.
Now defensively, Whiteside's going to help in that paint. There's got to be some shifting by his teammates.
Hassan comes over to help guard Chris Paul. Still got the shot away and wrapped the front of the iron and fell.
Well, Hassan knew who was down in the paint with him. It was Devin Booker. Wanted the pass, but was ready to put that thing in as Chris Paul gets another mid-range shot to go in. Conley playing against the bigger Bridges gets a great block for a bucket on the other end.
That stops a 6-0 run by Utah. DeAndre Ayton straight away. Big block by Gobert.
Oh my goodness.
135 on the season for Rudy. And then Chris Paul, what he does so well, mid-range jumper.
Coming off that Hassan Whiteside screen and just finding that top of the key wide open.
Mitchell has made 5 straight buckets. Ayton shot with a bounce and in.
Guys, you know,
remember this 8:52 mark. See if the Jazz can keep that energy up.
Booker's on the bench. Chris Paul runs the show. That jumper, it looked good. Rims out. Mitchell rebounds.
I like the confidence in the shot. I haven't seen Rudy shoot many of those hooks with the left hand, but I like it.
Chris Paul, now watch out. After the timeout, Paul stepped it and missed it badly. Strong off the back of the rim. Now you have to play defense. Chris Paul, so tough to guard. Puts a shot up. Out it comes. Bogey keeps his feet in bounds and Conley.
And it's going to be difficult if you allow them to score here.
Chris Paul runs by Conley, dishes inside the runner. Ayton. Timeout, Utah. You know, you said something earlier.
Sure, they keep the stat. I just have to ask him what his percentage is on threes off the dribble versus off the catch. Because he shoots it seemingly a lot better off the catch.
And Chris Paul, that was the first field goal for the Lakers in nearly 4 minutes. Phoenix was on an 8-2 run lasting 2 minutes. They strip it away from Ayton.
Good job by DJ Augustine.
Scanlon back to Carmelo. Paul's been out there playing. For Phoenix, it's Paul, Ayton, Crowder, Booker, and Bridges lob to Ayton, and he throws it down. Points in the paint, 28 now inside. Crowder will leave it for Chris Paul, leader in assists, looking to win it again. Where's the defense at the rim? Nowhere to be found. Timeout, Lakers. 7 rebounds. So the star power very close, and the game's close. Mid-range for Chris Paul, and he scores.
Well, he's going to be doing that in his sleep.
Now it was over Chris Paul, however. Paul had 6 assists in that second quarter when he kind of took control. Ayton.
You know, the last couple of years that the Lakers have played the Suns, I don't know if I've seen Ayton miss 2 shots.
Lakers is most likely going to end on Sunday. Paul, Ayton, here he goes, challenged by A.D. Boy, he's hanging on the rim. Ayton stayed with it and scored.
Incredible. Yeah, it's definitely been incredible what Memphis has been able to do, and a lot of it comes down to simple things that you can just look at the stat sheet that jump out at you. In the first half, it was 10 offensive rebounds for the Grizzlies to none for the Phoenix Suns. Crowder wanted an offensive foul right there. I think the official thought it was a little bit of a flop.
But Chris Paul has been awfully quiet tonight. Not only is a scorer, but even with these Memphis 54-23. Little pick and roll action. Booker! Surgical pass from Paul.
Free agency. It's because their younger guys on this team have continued to get better. And Bridges is one of those guys. Bridges, Cam Johnson campaign. Those are all guys that this Phoenix Suns coaching staff feels have grown up.
Win 3 of their final 6 to break that record, including this one tonight. Paul finds his spot. In and out. No. And the rebound by Aldama.
Andrew Wiggins has not played as well since Klay Thompson's come back. Jordan Poole had been coming off the bench, so his role changed. Here's Ayton going to work on the low block. And finally, somebody scores.
And look, that's what they need.
Ball. Wiggins, an all-star, but his numbers have gone down since the all-star break and the return of Thompson. Chris Paul talks to the crowd as he drops that one from high and to play. Even after they've wrapped up the franchise record, is that going to help his cause? Because he's top of mind for all the voters, as opposed to if he sits for 3 or 4 games in the final week. 7 seconds left here. Thompson 2 for 10. Ayton in the paint. Missed it both times. The second one may not have counted.
17 points, 7 rebounds tonight, but it seems like a very quiet one.
Booker penetrates. Baseline shot, no, but he'll go back to the line where he's 6 of 8.
A lot stronger and heavier than Ayton. Uses that right shoulder to create some space for the jumper.
Here's Booker, mentioned already, coming off that season-high 49 points. And Denver on third.
At least not on that exchange. Let's see if that continues.
So what the conversation was about, they were checking as Ayton gets the pass and jams it home. They were checking to see if Devin Booker's three-pointer earlier league, almost 11 assists a game. James Harden just over 10 assists a game. Paul pulls up this time from the left elbow and rattles it home.
Watching is what occupied the defender. Now he's got to choose. Who do I cover, Matisse or Tobias? He picked wrong.
7-0 Sixers run. Sixers up a deuce. Joel leading the break.
Well, you'll live with that. That is a wide open look by a more than competent shooter.
Paul pulls up from the elbow and finally puts an end to the Sixers' 12-0 run.
Danny.
That's shorts.
He felt it, though. Entitled to that heat check.
Yep. Proven confidence. Chris Paul, his former teammate, hits his three-point attempts.
No heat check necessary. Well, just look at the separation between Memphis and Golden State and Phoenix, right? The amount of wins they have as opposed to the others.
Paul, no. Ayton there for the putback.
But James had it on a rope. Headed to Tyrese for three.
Sixers in front. Paul, elbow. Every time.
Out on the floor.
He said in the first quarter, basketball can be a simple game, right? Something
yes.
you learn when you're a youngster. Ayton got three and takes advantage.
You see Doc.
Paul off the double drag screen up top. Ayton has the shot blocked by Embiid and a very late whistle. That one's going to go against Joel. Paul kicks it back to Torrey Craig. Back to Paul. 7 on the shot clock. Off the Ayton screen. Paul searching for a little space.
God.
Finds it off the front of the rim.
I know those are shots he's making.
Short on the runner. Paul keeps it himself. And the Suns retake the lead.
76ers would be able to muster. Down 11, clawing back into this, making it a tight one.
Maxey got a piece of that Paul jumper. Tyrese Maxey has been everywhere. Tyrese on Crowder. Shot clock at 2. Paul to Ayton, who hits just before the shot clock expires.
And you can see the rotation trying to...
Paul sidestep jumper, and it rattles in. Doc Rivers calls time.
Backed him down, got the exact position he wanted, the exact shot he wanted.
Paul drops it off to Ayton, too strong on the runner. And then Joel is knocked to the ground. No whistle. Tried in.
Other help defenders ready to come over the second he put it on the floor.
Paul calls his own number this time and gets the friendly roll. Saying let's go.
Of the first 6 shots, Nikola is 3 for 3. Now Chris Paul, pick and roll. Remember, out 15 games with the thumb injury. The Suns went 11-4 without it.
Cleaned up some of those misses, but they need to focus in just a little bit tighter here.
Nuggets, as Shaq might say, need the others to come along tonight with Nikola Jokic as the Suns hit again, and Michael Malone, Chris Paul the rebound.
That's a tough shot for AG, one that he's capable of knocking down, but the fade away from the block.
And Ayton again for DeAndre Ayton with his 14th point. Chris Paul breaks through. Tough shot. His shot, he missed it.
Chris Paul does such a good job of using.
Yeah, this intensity is ratcheting up right now.
Feel it building.
Fans at a fever pitch. Chris Paul in the lane, got it. And Chris Paul, he's not.
When Aaron Gordon does that and looks to attack, especially when he has a driving lane like that, good things happen for the Denver Nuggets.
All 5 Nuggets starters are in double figures as Chris Paul looks to be all the way back after it. Well, Bones Highland may have earned the right to close.
It's going to be a tough call because Monte Morris 4 of 4 from 3.
Yeah, Monte Morris has played great.
So do you
maybe put them both in?
Play small, exactly.
He's physical, he rebounds. He may not score all the time or his shot's not falling, but he needs to be out there and he starts things for them.
Şengün whistled for the foul there.
Get them off the line, get them going to the basket because defensively they're not going to score as often as they like to shoot the outside shot. And their nice pass inside to DA with that little hook.
1-point lead here. DA rolls, slips inside.
Offense doesn't look quite as...
DA, little floater at the buzzer. He needed that. The Suns needed that.
And now Paul sets it up with Ayton. Probing. Paul. Tough shot. Zubac the rebound.
Zubac is set to have an MRI on his right elbow on the February 24th. And if all is clean, sources told me they expect the star to go through approximately a 2-week ramp-up period. If there are no setbacks.
A pass right there in the last 2 possessions. Clippers are out to a good start. Paul, a little mid-range is good. And the Suns have taken the lead.
Clippers get it right back.
Chris Paul got Zubac on him now. Dumps it inside. What a pass. I mean, that quick jump to get the pass into Ayton over Zubac.
Yes, nobody really had great success against Luka Doncic, but it was part of their game.
Yes.
They didn't want him to both score and get assists. Ty Lue, great defense by the entire Suns team, but by Crowder on Morris, and he still knocks it in.
Chris Paul answers with a jumper on the other end. That quarter made 2 threes, and now he's got his first one down here in the third. Paul drawing traffic, gets by Zubac.
Great footwork.
And now Paul with the Suns up 6, just getting started here in the third quarter. And Paul was disrupted by Zubac. Of course, has 20 now after that big second quarter. Paul, Psalm handles. Chris Paul, little jump shot, all set up by that terrific hit for 24. A big layup there. He's got 14 now. 1-point game. Paul leads it for Ayton.
Points or more, 5 of the last 7 games here for the Clippers.
Paul patient, gets into it now. He'll put it up. Off the window, it's good. Protecting the lob, and Chris Paul just
inside and able to jar it loose. Paul gets it up ahead. They leave him wide open. Won't get the soft bounce on that first shot attempt. All rookies in points as the Magic missed another one. We're tied at 7 here. Just under 9 to go in the opening quarter. Paul looked at the pass, instead of take the elbow jumper.
I'm serious. That's the game plan.
9 games. Double-figure scoring. Just an absolute knifing pass between the 2 defenders from Chris Paul to
threes to win games. Think about it. Devin Booker, Chris Paul's 11 for 30 against Milwaukee, and they still won by 20. So that just tells you the beauty of this team. Shut man off, but he's 0 for 5 right now.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I'll say it.
I know you will. Paul off the screen, delivers the triple. Paul working over Anthony, flips a pass over the shoulder, finds D.A., who hammers it home.
Yeah, that's what we love about Torrey Craig. He closes out defensively extremely well and can elevate and block shots.
Paul back on the floor, immediately goes right to work. And interesting decision here.
I don't know if you need to do that, young fella. Just stand up.
Might want to just scratch that one off of your to-do list as another pocket pass from CP3. Magic have dropped into the zone the last 2 possessions. Crowder with a touch pass back to Paul. Working on Anthony. Gets off the Ayton screen. Won't get it, though.
He was trying to really,
he had been on a nice roll leading into the last few games, but we talked about maybe hitting that rookie wall. As Paul connects on the triple, and that's as he looks to the Orlando
turnover to his 12 assists.
He's assisted on all 4 of Phoenix's field goals this quarter. Here they go for Ayton. Make it 5. Up high and down hard.
6 for Connaughton.
Paul, lickety split the other way and open for the mid-range shot, which he always hits.
The mid-range has made 11 points on 3 of 8 shooting for the Finals MVP.
Ball to Ayton. Ayton defended by Matthews. Nothing can stop Ayton now. He's on a tear with 23. That is... Ball, Ayton inside.
17.
Ayton breathing a sigh of relief because anytime you can get him to shoot a jumper fadeaway, you win.
Chris Paul getting past everybody.
As soon as he sheds his defense, really kind of, not lighting it up. 25%, 2 of 8 for the Suns as well.
What's the complete opposite of not lighting it up as Ayton misses ever so close to the rim?
I'd say brick 10 to allow Joel those jumpers, especially the jumpers outside the paint.
Chris Paul, we all know, likes to go to his right. Curry the rebounds. Gotta watch his back. All with 4 points, 4 assists. In the lane, doesn't like going to his left. Much prefers the right. Ayton the offensive rebounds, and it rolls.
Doc Rivers likes to get him the ball there. Very productive from either elbow.
Ball to Ayton. Wasn't ready for that one, but able to recover and hit it.
Shuffled his feet. He's got his feet in the right position, and balance is part of shooting. So if you can be balanced at all time, your shot's got a chance.
Ayton, no good on his jumper. Here comes MB. Ball with 4 points, 7 assists, couple of rebounds.
Oh, look how he initiates contact. Man, he's so savvy, so smart. Then wants to foul. His strength is putting the foot on the gas and getting all the way to the cup.
So slithery and slippery. Paul, mid-range, around and out.
I like your descriptive. I wonder what kind of bargain Ayton is making here. I'm going to give you that jumper, but it allows JoJo to get into a rhythm that can hurt you even more later on in the game. Confident
and out.
No hesitation on that, pulling the trigger. JoJo's confidence in that jumper and playing Ayton are high.
Bridges had a great start. He was very productive in the first quarter. Felt quiet.
It allowed him to reset, and the defense kind of got lulled to sleep a little bit. That's when he turned it back on and exploded.
Paul, floater. Team in the NBA right now is Phoenix. Sixers 5th in the East. Paul, baseline, no good. Ayton misses the tip-in. Here at the Wells Fargo Center to get back into this one.
Got to get some stops now, though. That's the key. Tough shot. My goodness.
Over the outstretched arms of Embiid. That's back to Sig.
It is currently a 9-0 Phoenix run over 100 seconds. Paul with DeRozan closing. We want to talk about DeRozan's mid-range. Chris Paul has been just as...
This is where you want to see maybe get Vooch in the post and get some easier baskets. Right now, a lot of jump shots.
Ayton takes it in, left it a little bit too strong. Ayo cuts through traffic. Starts the break.
Easy layup that time.
Screen by Crowder, and then the screen by Ayton. He rolls and jams. This is something they do so effectively, Ayton and Paul together.
And you know what? I mean, Chris Paul.
Running of the pick and roll. Matched up with DeRozan. There's the screen by Ayton. Paul, the fading jumper.
Oh, wow.
Dances home for him.
Well, that just shows you what one player can do. I mean, look at DeMar DeRozan, the impact he's done here in Chicago.
Absolutely. Ayton with the rim run on the feed from Chris Paul.
Wow.
DeAndre Ayton with an angry
band leader.
Picked up by Levine on the switch. The screen from Ayton. Levine sticks with him. A little bit of confusion right at the end of that defensive rotation. Paul misses the jumper.
Have an assist in a quarter.
January 11th, 2019, the last time. Wow. Paul in the mid-range. Yep. Paul.
And I tell you what makes Phoenix so difficult. Rim, alley-oop, something, and got a layup out of that. They went straight to the three-point line and got nothing.
And then Ayo hit the deck, and then Paul just easily takes it in. That's a 4-point swing right there.
Yeah, you got to get easy back. Devontae Green got grabbed on that.
Paul slips it to Ayton. Hooks it over Vucevic and in. DeAndre Ayton with 8 points, 27 on the game. Still a 22-point game, though. It's Chris Paul, yes.
Boy, he comes off that screen, and he's full speed. And then he's standing there waiting for him to come back to him.
Oh, the double on Paul led to Ayton diving in, and Dosunmu had to come over late for his 4th foul. That'll be the 3rd on the... White and Vucevic on the double of Paul, who finds DeAndre Ayton, and a hard foul by Nikola Vucevic, because again, Chris Paul.
You already know what's coming. It's going to be the middle pick and roll with Chris Paul as a double drag with Ayton.
There's a lob.
Beautiful executed play on that. A double drag to the back left.
2-point lead for Phoenix. 5.5 to go here in the first. Chris Paul left open, will take the three and make the three. On the season, about a 30. DeAndre Ayton in the paint, gets the roll. DeAndre Ayton in double figures with 11.
Go into that play, Thomas Bryant, the right spot in front of the rim.
Chris Paul from the free throw line. He's 4 of 8, 9 points, 7 assists. Keep on going, Drew. Keep on going. We got plenty of time.
Now, Western Conference, Draymond Green, I was a little confused at that. I thought it was.
Rebound is 14th. Denny Abdia going to the scorer's table. Paul able to handle along the baseline and rattle that one in. He's got 11 points and 9 assists.
Coming in nice, having to play teams like the Phoenix Suns. You have to have offense. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts. Defense is only going to take you so far. You're going to have to put the ball in.
For 100 possessions. The difference between these two is on the defensive end as Paul gets a little space and shoots over Capella.
Yeah, big difference on the defensive end. Here is Garland, who has had to carry the Cleveland team with Rubio and Sexton out and has done a great job. Really happy for both those games.
Player of the week in the Western Conference. Just keeps getting better and better. And nice lead for DeAndre Ayton.
What a great pass. Calm looked off the defender who started to rotate up to the wing and gave it to Hunter in the corner wide open.
Paul easy inside off the window. 6 threes made for the Hawks this quarter. Now he's into double figures. We got Hunter with 10, Trae Young with 12. And Herter with 12. Up high off the window, Chris Paul.
Well, both these guards, Trae right there, getting plenty of space with the big back.
Great body control by Young. Here's Paul again.
Not enough sense of urgency there from the Hawks to attack and get a shot. And they ended up with just a desperation lead.
Paul scores over Young. Paul left open, some miscommunication there, and Paul makes him pay. Capella and DeAndre
Paul got to get organized. Devin Booker has been cold since a fast start. It's all Paul here, and he'll rattle one home.
Capella tried to get a little more aggressive.
My beard. I mean, it's become a big part of who he is in his calling card. Paul, what a setup. Big finish on a beautiful feed from Chris Paul. Scoops it up, 4 seconds left. He gets around Griffin. Paul all the way at the horn. Chris Paul. First lead since 8-7 early stages of the game. Paul, the step on Irving. Floater, no. Foul, yes.
2 for a lot of times, too, we talked about this. A lot of incentives are tied to. See the beautiful pass.
Ayton. Big time flush off the second half of the back-to-back. Empties the bench for the final 2 minutes and change. Chris Paul, pedal to the metal, always. Rebounded by Bembry.
This is one of the games.
Down by a dozen. Their biggest deficit. The T-Wolves put together a 9-2 scoring run. Here's Book on the drive, gets the contact, fades back from 15. Rebound ripped away by the Timberwolves.
What happens is when you're a very good offensive player, they want to try to find something that they can say negative. And you can't say anything negative about Devin's defense. His effort on defense has been huge over the last 2 years.
And that last possession, the defense by
Chris Paul's there and Crowder is there. So when you got Devin out there putting that effort, it's just tough.
no look feed rising up and crashing down is DA off the assist from Chris Paul.
CP weaving through traffic, rising up on two defenders and sticks it right in the heart for Chris Paul.
And you know Monty talked about it.
Great shooter on the year. And the Pacers within 2. Ayton.
That's the right thing to do. Holiday had to foul him because Miles wasn't going to get back.
And back when Bridges moved into the act, oh, that's Ayton wide open.
Yeah, because you were stuck between a rock and a hard place, and that's the lead.
6 in the quarter for Sabonis. He has 8. Pacers down just 6. And Ayton got the rebound.
That makes a huge difference when you shoot that kind of number.
But they are just 2 of 12 here in the fourth quarter.
If you can appreciate basketball, I'm sorry.
Again, it was that run at the end of the third quarter. And Chris Paul, 10 in the fourth.
Clock expires. Another good rebound for Phoenix. Paul gets a straightaway look.
Needed it.
Down it goes.
Needed it.
And he stuck with it. Excellent skill.
15 points Pascal, a dozen for Van Vliet, and 11 for OG. And the 3 is good for Booker.
It starts with the guy dribbling the ball here, number 3. He sets the tone with the pickup point, right? With your defense.
And it's a 3-point lead, right? The explosion there at 36 and gets to his
Studer. 6 turnovers, Matt, in the third quarter for Toronto. That's really been a problem for them.
Chris Paul shot doesn't go into Boucher with a rebound. He's in for Watanabe. 87-83, 4:20 left. Paul to Ayton. And the largest lead of the night for the Phoenix Suns, and a timeout taken by Nick Nurse. Go! Raptors need a stop. Paul into the paint. Over Birch. Shot. Falls, and it's good. The veteran.
Kyle Lowry with the stick back. 12-8 Suns on top. That was the first 2-point make, and now CP trying to match.
I mean, he threw Chris Paul. I mean, no one ever point line.
It was like a Superman move by Mikal. Went airborne, arms outstretched. Chris Paul fouled in the act. Couple free throws coming. 5 assists with his 5 rebounds. Where do they find these guys? Chris Paul fading away from his spot. When all is
Duncan Robinson's not thinking about going around you, man. He's just not. And if he does, so be it.
Robinson is 4 of 5 from far away. 12 points in just 9 white.
And they better not step inside the 3. They're going to get punished.
Chris Paul pull up. Defended there by Guy. Another short shot for Phoenix. 3-point hit for Miami. DA. Suns will take 2.
Attempts at halftime. They've only taken 5 in the second half because he came out and he said, okay, we're going to be more opportunistic and get to the rim. And it's worked for him.
That's by Crowder. Ayton rolls, takes the lob, and fouled in the act. Goes down hard. Back to the line, will go deep.
Open 3. I think Monty's going to be more upset about that than anything. Is the second chances that they got.
Well, that was a backbreaker, too. They're within 13, and now it's back to 17.
He's the best at 3-point shooting. I got to show him something.
Duncan is 8 of 14 deep. Push shot by CP.
Right up, 3 for 19 in the fourth quarter. The lob to Smith. And Muscala's going to commit the foul. And that'll be the 15th foul committed. But
Cam, he's got to do more of his fighting before he gets the ball. I mean, so don't allow him to get that deep on the block.
Giving him about 50 pounds is Book off the baseline over Adams.
Yeah, that's why you set over there. Don't worry about him.
Yeah, and because of that explosive step, he gets you on your heels. Chris Paul with a floater. Comes up short with that one.
Yeah, maybe should have used the backboard on that one. I thought
off his game, be as physical as possible.
talk about Steph Curry's post-game workout routine as the game continues. Ayton with good position deep on Looney.
Right, if you're being teams, Mark, yes, they are driven by their point guards, but they are both five-man heavy teams. Everybody's involved. The ball's moving, bodies are moving.
They find mismatches coming out offensively the last couple of trips. Chris Paul with the midi, got it.
He's done that as well.
Vanessa and asked her blessing on the thumbs up sign that he gives to the Kobe mural. Boy, what a great scoop shot by CP3.
Oh, this guy just surely has the trust of Steve.
Chris Paul spun him around that time, missed the scoop shot, out of bounds off of Ayton. Golden State basketball.
His acting lessons aren't good.
Paul tried to turn the corner, feeds it up top for a little Bahamian boom from DeAndre Ayton. Hard time finding the bottom of the net from deep. He has missed his last 13 after getting a game winner and performing so well against the Clippers. Williams playing 16 minutes last night. Here's Paul on the drive. It's just his second field goal attempt.
It's hard for you to euro around a guy like that.
Paul working a two-man game, gets to his spot, and that's typically the result.
Yeah, the Suns want to build a lot like Devin in that mid-range area where he's got that size and he can just pull up right over you.
Drop off inside. DA came in too strong with that one.
I think he's trying to pass it to himself off the glass. He doesn't have a good look.
Paul, the entry pass to Ayton. Can't get the turnaround, but will get himself to the line to shoot a pair. Saw Monty call that timeout after they had cut it to 10. Coming out of the timeout, and they were unable to make the necessary corrections as Paul knocking it down. Semi-uncontested three.
Well, and the Suns need to prefer it too. Go right ahead.
Here's Paul on the drive inside.
There you go, hitting all parts of the rim.
21-point swing. Suns led by 15 early. There's Paul with a pull-up.
Now,
under season, Bridges on the dribble drive. Paul working the two-man game, gets to his sweet spot, leaves that one just short.
They're shooting 38% from the field, so it's not like they're lights out.
Paul, drive inside, able to bait the youngster into the foul, and that'll put Chris Paul. Just keep fighting back as Dort back on the floor. Out there with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is Paul with a bucket.
He shook his head because he's missed a few of them in the game.
Shot clock at 9. Paul trying to work the two-man game. Works inside on his former teammate, SGA. Up there with enough contact for the foul.
You're going to see a lot of that throughout this game. Ayton changing and contesting shots.
And Paul, a little mid-range, knocks it down. First basket of the game for the Phoenix Suns. And Chris Baird on a 7-point game. Chris Paul leaves it for Ayton. That opportunity's open again.
Talk about the great handwork. One hand.
Long reach of Mikal Bridges. Man, you talk about a difference maker. He just keeps getting better and better. There's Ayton again on a find from Chris Paul. So Paul with his 6th Suns lead with the ball. Gordon Tucker got a piece of that. Paul recovers. And he knocks it down. Man, he cleared some space. Hits a little mid-range. Did Booker and Ayton, and they went to the paint, and they mimicked that exact play they just scored on. And now Ayton on a rim run again. Paul found him. He couldn't finish it. Carmelo there defending. James leaves it a 7-point game now. Lakers have 16 from Westbrook with those 7 rebounds. Ayton got cross step there, and LeBron James out of the pack. Suns by 6. Paul pulls up and hits.
So, well, right there was a test. I mean, I'm telling you right now, that's a test. And that's a confidence boost, too, as well.
Another trip to the line for Ayton, who is tripped up by Ball. The starting five still out there. It looked like at one point that Monty might rest him as we take a look at how many minutes he might play here tonight. Ayton with the gimme inside.
Great catch, kept the ball up above his shoulder. I mean, he's going to move well without the basketball.
Chris Paul finds his spot off the back iron. Hayward on the run out. It's hard not to look at that scoreboard.
It's great. Oh, well, don't do that. CP3, don't do that, man. That's not right.
The wraparound assist.
I learned how to lift weights, and I learned how to stretch and eat right. So it's good to see Cam getting that body together, because I'm telling you, man, he's going to be a sight to see.
Great 30-plus point games at 30 against Brooklyn, 32 against New York, and 35 at Cleveland. Wide open look once again for Chris Paul. And he looks over at the Charlotte bench going, you want to have some.
I'm curious to see how Holiday's going to mix up going under on some of these. Yeah, see, that's where they kill you right there. When you go to switch and force Gafford having to guard.
Paul from 14.
That's cash. That's cash. It's wide open. You have to stay.
Got the ball and lost it. Ayton going at Avdia, misses. Beal with the rebound. They try to double CP3. Now Ayton alone underneath, and nothing Kispert could do. 6 points for DeAndre Ayton.
Sign that rookie max extension that he probably wasn't offered, because he was looking for that Michael Porter Jr. deal, that 200 plus. I don't think that was on the table. Matter of fact, I don't know what was on the table.
Rebound. CP3 from 13. 8 points for him, and lead is out. CP3 to the free throw line. Just gets the spots he wants to go to in a timeout. Crowder back to CP3. Just having his way. He's toying with the Wizards right now.
But you know what? He makes up for it with size and his strength and his competitive nature, attacking that hoop.
There's the lob to DeAndre Ayton. They triple team Chris Paul on that one.
That's what happened.
Pinpoint, but if you had a guess.
Well, I think they caught teams by surprise early on. They got off to a good start. Teams were able to scout them, and not only the players, but other teams got this.
For a very disruptive defense.
Well, they move well, and they're all so in sync on defense, aren't they, Stan?
One of the most together teams in this league, Kevin, at both ends of the floor, as we see a great pass there from Chris Paul.
In terms of defensive rating, which encompasses all the significant defensive categories. 2 fouls for Paul, and he puts this over Nurkic with a rebound by Nance. Yep, and Larry always harped on unselfish play.
Absolutely. And Damian Lillard is a guy he pointed to for his unselfishness, that he'll always make the right.
To get exhausted. And then play offense, which he's enjoying and getting better at.
Oh, he's the most efficient guy on the team, as Ayton takes the feed from Paul and throws it down.
By Paul. Here comes Shamet, who just hit a shot moments ago. Phoenix on top by 4. They've trailed by 2, and they go inside, and they find now a 9-point. Did almost unbeatable at home, 10-1. They won 10 straight home games. Now they've lost 4 in a row. Chris Paul nails it.
Well, Chris Paul in the mid-range, we know. It's over the top, so he's attacking the basket probably more than we've seen him do all year.
It's Chris Paul with the fadeaway. Simons is there, half minute to go. Guarding group of Ayton with Crowder. Mikal Bridges in the corner. Here's Paul. Shamet on the wing, inside. It goes to Ayton with an easy patch and an easy 2.
Yeah, too many of those.
His coach tonight, Monty Williams, called him the flagship of our organization. Inside 8 with the nifty move, but Nurkic there with the board.
And Nurkic doing a better job reading things on the pick. They certainly are. I mean, they've combined for 32 points, outscoring Phoenix's backcourt 32-11, but it's those plays that's keeping Phoenix ahead.
Tonight, second consecutive start for Larry Nance. Wheeling in Paul, open lane, took advantage of it right there.
And you don't see it very often anymore. Earlier play, look, everybody thinks of basketball as a game of athleticism and skills. But in reality, where the best players separate themselves is as decision makers. And Chris Paul is a standing offensive year.
Wade with that screen, and Paul working around it. Floater on the fly, and a rebound by Powell. Here comes Nance. Beautiful pass.
To myself, oh my God, what the heck was that? Like, you don't say it when you're coaching,
right.
though sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. Like, where you're saying, can you believe that? As DeAndre ate in this.
Late third, here comes the work. Paul trying to pry. This is over Lillard. Covington the rebound. Here's Chris Paul, a double-double tonight with 12 points and 10 assists. He got one inside to Ayton, who's now missed a couple from the doorstep, and it's Luke. I've done that, and that's why I've ended up where I am. I owe it to Muggsy Bogues and my own diligence in working at it. And he goes inside Ayton, another assist for Chris Paul. He now has 11 assists, and it's Paul the other way. Dancing on Simons, looking for the screen. Gets it out to Ayton, who drove in a beautiful pick and roll inside by the Phoenix Suns, who have come back to tie.
Come up on him, he makes the pass. If they don't, he's knocking down shots.
Pick your poison, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, nice pass. Look at that pass by Paul. Inside, 14th assist. Paul has played 34 minutes. The second of a back-to-back. Wheels down the lane, a floater on the fly. Nurkic the rebound. 2. Got the screen. Here comes Paul over Nurkic. Got it. That ties the game at 100. Chris Paul
can't handle the ball, so Chris can at least get a little rest up at the other end.
Paul finds a little nut to crawl through. Can't get it. Nurkic was in there with a hand on it. Covington retrieves it.
Paul gets to his spot, gets the matchup he wants, doesn't see the end results. As Brent Forbes out on the floor now for Greg Popovich's Spurs. Paul, Hurdle with the blocked shot, but it trickles out to Bridges. Finds 3.
No, it's about you got a good opportunity, a good chance to get to the rim or get you a shot off. You got to go for it.
Forbes, a terrific three-point shooter, as Chris Paul gets his first bucket of the night to DA. The Spurs look like they've made some adjustments here defensively. That time does not work.
Hardly noted. I mean, the Spurs team's not going to.
And when he blocks it, he will let you know it.
Oh, it's going out of bounds. He's not saving. He's not keeping it in bounds.
He's not a Bill Russell.
It's going out of bounds in the third row. The results. You know, you want that outcome. You want to win a title. You want a trophy. But he's playing with a team right now where if they just compete and commit to doing the things that he's teaching them, it's gratifying for both parties. Peace.
There's a reason.
Paul finds Bridges. Thought about the 3.
Good decision.
And the money shot. Ties it up 48.
Fire and DeAndre standing there, and you got to get that ball up on the board quickly.
McDermott's missed 7 games this season with knee issues as Paul can't get the little 15-footer to go. Long rebound back to Krupp. It's been impressive defensively. They're giving up an average of 94 points per game. Paul with a pull-up, can't get the roll.
And normally get that bounce, doesn't
he?
He hit the
8 rebounds for DA. Paul on the dribble drive, invites Pirtle, but this time won't get the little 14-footer. 14 and 8 for CP3. Pass inside to DA, little jump hook, spins out.
DeAndre hadn't gotten many of those tonight. Bad luck for here.
Murray with those long arms, that great reach. Thought about the pass to DA instead. I'll take the little layup.
He ain't missing that one. Forget it.
Ball working on McDermott. Slips the pass to DA with the spin. Little jump hook. Gets one to finally go in. He's had some tough luck with that little
help out on DeAndre. Just a matter of, is he comfortable to take it?
Working on Pirtle with the pull-up. Money.
It's there. It's there for the rest. That's the guy they wanted to get him on, McDermott.
Then funnel him to Pirtle. Won't get it. DA with a hand. Controlled by Murray. Murray racing. Now Paul gets a switch with McDermott.
This is sealing right here.
On the pull-up. Yes! And one. The point guard.
State 6. You saw both of them are top 5 in offensive and defensive efficiency. Only other team that is in both, Utah.
Good job by Looney defending the pick.
As well, Golden State had 23 turnovers in that game. Paul, mid-range, sure.
I really don't believe you want to switch.
Paul finds Ayton on the roll. Ayton couldn't finish it. Good D from Draymond Green. Having his best shooting season thus far, 3rd year of his career. He was the best shooter in that 2019 draft class. Starting to manifest as Ayton's fouled. If that's Looney, that's going to be his 3rd.
In your game?
When I was in 8th grade, I did. When I was in 9th grade, I certainly did not. Paul flips
I've never
it
had
in.
it, so I don't believe that you ever had it. 8th or 9th.
18 now for Curry. His 5th 3 of the night. Oh, nice setup. Pull to Ayton. And a foul called against Curry. Ayton is good.
Defensive foul with that little shove off. Got away with it. Got the basket.
Ayton putting it on the deck. Rummaging in and finishing with the left hand.
That's a shot he works on every single day. So not just shooting the long ball, his ability to finish with both hands.
Paul can't hit. An 11-0 Warrior run. Paul floats it in. Ayton able to pop it home. 21 for DeAndre Ayton. Chris Paul and Phoenix trying to make a push. Down 12, a little over 8 minutes to go in this 4th. Second half of a back-to-back for the Suns. Wow, that is a heck of a defensive play.
Not appear to be a serious hamstring injury.
Yeah, but again, it's something that he understands, and good for Devin that, you know, he knows how to play with that injury and not push. Kel's not going to let you pick it up, man. Them arms too long, man.
You're done if that ball's on the floor. Ayton down Main Street. Hacked in the act. And a couple of free throws coming for DA.
Yeah, it was in a
good rebound. Rebound number 5 for DA. CP navigating. Floats it up. And Ayton puts it home. You know, these point guards, that is 4 steals now for Mikal. Maybe he has eyes on topping the 7 that he had against the Nets. Pump fake and bucket for DA.
Execution, that's what Chris Paul's going to do here. He's going
situations like this, and being the type of player that should seamlessly fit right in if Booker were to miss action.
He hadn't taken a shot since early.
Now Hayes has the chore of covering Chris Paul in a switch. Stewart was there. He backed off. CP couldn't make him pay. Braun, and the fireworks went off.
They're not going anywhere.
Chris Paul comes up way short. Now on the run out, it's Diallo. The game getting out of hand.
I'm shocked there wasn't a fight in that game.
There was no fight in that game, apparently. Chris Paul comes up short. 2 of 5. I
think you have a turnover, and they get it back, and they make something great.
Pull up Chris Paul. Crunch time.
Just like an
huge assist as well from Chris Paul, finding his shooters. Shot clock to 3 to 2, laying it up, and Ayton powers it down.
you'd love to see him get closer to the rim and try to expose Chris Paul, use that size.
Chris Paul, you saw he wanted to return it to Ayton, and so DeAndre Ayton has rung the register twice at the beginning of the ball. This time it's Ayton over Draymond. So DeAndre Ayton is eating inside.
If ever he gets an opening, it's almost a surprise to him. He shoots it better, actually, with a contest so far this year, but you can't leave him open like that.
Chris Paul missing. Ayton couldn't follow in the bunny.
So this is going to be a fast-paced game all the way throughout, probably.
And Chris Paul, master of the mid-range.
He's so good there. He has a natural fadeaway on his jump shot, not giving him any angles to the basket.
They've got Curry 3 of 10. It's Poole and Porter. And the reason the Warriors have tied this game. And Draymond, great defense on Ayton.
Yeah, dribbling from that foul, though, is all Phoenix.
And the guys talked about it on the Jack in the Box at the half. And the Warriors have to get up and down. But you have to come up with stops and not take it out of the basket.
Stagnant right now, indecisive. This is not your normal Warrior offense.
Chris Paul for the mid-range.
They have so much more of a flow going on. Minutes, man.
2 screens to get Payton off of Paul. They like that Bielitsa switch. And then Chris Paul cooks him this time.
And that 2-on-1 was not well executed because the guy in front, they're going to have to throw through a defender.
Chris Paul and Ayton unable to follow that. Steph in motion.
Aspirated going out. Like, just keep playing, keep fighting.
Ayton couldn't get an angle. There's Bielitsa with a rebound.
Taking looks, and you see the constant movement here by everyone on this Phoenix offense.
Paul fading away. That is like a layup for Chris Paul. Harden is now 1 for 10 from the floor. Chris Paul, oh yeah. When he gets in that rhythm, look out.
And to your point about
possession. Paul looking to end it here. Gets rejected by Harden. Durant finds Mills.
Chris Paul back to DeAndre Ayton, gets inside and goes reverse. And already off to a start. They're 4 for 4 from the field.
Knicks are going to have.
So Knicks have hit 3 of their first 4 from downtown. Suns have hit 6 of 8 overall. Paul fouled on his jumper. As Kemba Walker will be called for his first 4 times in just under 6 minutes. Chris Paul looking for Ayton, throws it up on the mismatch.
I'll tell you, the pick and roll is causing the Knicks a lot of problems. Chris kept that backup point guard role, and he's doing it very well, being aggressive with this opportunity.
Chris Paul finds his way to the elbow. Jump shot won't go. Knicks mistime their jump, but Toppin able to chip it to Mitchell. Had a lot of games where they hit a bunch of threes early, then go really cold, and then late hit them again. Right now they're just 4 of 16. Chris Paul's jumper is good.
And Chris Paul's not even looking to shoot. That's what.
The fans chanting defense as Chris Paul falling away, can't get it to go. For Larry Brown, for Don Nelson, for Doc Rivers, for Mike D'Antoni. Chris Paul scoots inside, draws the foul, and 1. Only the Devin Booker.
And he just didn't back down, got that steal, and the easy 2.
Well, McBride he's a pit bull on defense, so Ayton gets free. And there's the 10th assist for Chris Paul.
Let him just roll through the lane like he controls the lane, because you want control of it.
Paul into Ayton. Can't get that to go. Marking and defended and rebound.
Make him shoot over the top.
Paul picked up by Garland. Garland got screened off by Ayton. Paul across the foul line. Can't get the roll. Allen grabs the rebound. He has another double.
Take it to the hoop.
Paul pulls up. Got it. Chris Paul with an answer.
You can't trade basket.
Did just a phenomenal job being a huge part of Team USA.
White with the second bucket for the Spurs as Paul comes back to answer. And Phoenix back on top 5-4.
Spurs 2-4 here at the AT&T Center. Wins over Orlando and Sacramento. 8 at its strip. Poeltl got a hand on it.
DeJounte was in there too. Knack for just kind of estimating how that ball is going to come off the rim. Great anticipation again.
Chris Paul the miss. Rebound off to Keldon Johnson.
He's got something on the offensive end of the floor.
Paul comes right back. He's called down, everybody.
To fix his spots.
Here's Chris Paul working with Ayton again. I was saying that Chris Paul really took Ayton under his wing. It might be the other way. With
able to explode, uses the glass nicely. Yeah, Devin Vassell, his offensive game is starting to skyrocket. He's got to get the ball more. And there's no attempt to even block that shot.
But can the Spurs get stops? 8-point blank. Knocked away. Suns claiming foul, no whistle. Derek White.
The house down. Giving our guys a lot of confidence.
Paul weaving his way in and out. Murray got a piece of it. Spurs maintain possession. White on him. Ayton with a high screen. And a foul.
But Chris Paul's the master there.
Yep.
Yeah, he just knows.
Vintage Chris Paul, a little fade away.
And that's a 3 shot for him. Absolutely.
You just have to protect the basketball.
You just have to make really sure passes down the stretch. You can't get too crazy with it.
You get another miss. Good contest on.
Clog the lane for any cutters or anything. Good point. You mentioned JaMychal only shooting 20% from 3. Chris Paul from 2 is almost automatic. And Chris Paul in the playoffs. It's getting out on the fast break, and that may be the recipe or the formula for success tonight for the Nuggets. Shooters taking them off the line, and that's just, as you called, that's a tough jump shot. Into Ayton, and Ayton scores again. So you can't float with a big guy if you're a guard on a switch. Ayton. Got it. DeAndre Ayton. The Suns are a little bit shorthanded too. They're missing Frank Kaminsky, Abdul Nader. That comes up short in Dario Saric. Crowder for.
Paul zigging, zagging, and hitting.
Just look at how Chris Paul, a master maestro, allowed.
The waist is supposed to be an automatic call.
Paul finds Ayton for the flush.
Gets the deuce on the other end for his team.
We've already had 12 lead changes in this first half. Neither team has led by more than 6 at any point. As Chris Paul, 7 points, 4 assists in this first half. Paul again. He got it.
Ayton, the ability to control the basketball and protect the paint at the same time.
Paul probing, taking, short. Here's Brunson. 2-on-1 develop.
You're in agreement with it?
I don't know. I don't know what I believe in this world anymore.
Booker, short on the mid-range. 8-0 Dallas run. Tim Hardaway Jr. He has the last 6 Dallas points. Paul, what a find, and Ayton gets that one to drop.
In the half court. So to get something in transition was big.
Paul, not that time. Porzingis the rebound, his 9th. 5 now from 3. Paul got that one. Layup for Chris Paul. Paul again dancing in the mid-range. gets the roll. The mid-range maestro.
Drop like he does against Powell because Porzingis is at the three-point line.
Chris Paul continues to struggle from the floor, 0 for 8. Meanwhile, the Mavs have hit 12. Mavs and Suns play again here Friday. Then the Mavs go to LA to play the Clippers twice. Chris Paul on the board from the floor. His first field goal comes at the 7th. Devin Booker might be right now with how involved he is here in the community. And obviously the Suns run to the finals last year as Ayton puts it in and draws a foul.
Delph leaving Finney-Smith all by himself in the corner. Mistake defensively.
16 threes for Dallas. Chris Paul, as he did the other night, starting to get going. Paul driving, got bumped. Oh, Ayton on the cut and the jam. The Mavs lost Ayton. Shot clock at 8, game clock at 25. Suns by 5. Paul driving, stops, pops. No good, but he was fouled. He'll go to the line.
This matchup between Patrick Beverley and Chris Paul as Mikal Bridges gets the rim attack there. Vando's going to foul him. It's the first time they've Towns is playing up high there, so the roller is going to go. It's really incumbent upon right there. Right on cue. It's incumbent upon the help defense to be there, and that's why watching to deal with them. What is D'Lo going to do against DeAndre Ayton when he rolls to the rim like that? There's really nothing they can do. At the same time, you need to be able to unbelievable dish again by Chris Paul. Minnesota back on top. Let's see if he can keep it up.
DeAndre throws it up. He's like, where's the foul call?
D'Angelo Russell. Minnesota allowing themselves to be able to switch in these situations. Ayton again almost got a throwdown. Jaden's going to get called for the foul here, trying to come back and help on the roll. And that'll be Minnesota was, and Chris Finch would routinely go 9 and 10 deep, sometimes even 11. Chris Paul knocks down. It's Chris Paul time now. That's what I was telling you. Like he's Paul moving to his right.
Hits the mid-range.
Here's McCullough, finds Nurkic, had a double-double last night. Is that one just a little too strong? And you feel like some of it is just the sense of allowing these guys to continue to build the chemistry while Paul with just 2 points. That's been pretty much the MO thus far. Deep entry pass there, left Porter Jr. Paul, quick feed over the top to DA. Couldn't get the first one, but stayed with it for the tip in.
Ayton back on the floor tonight, third double-double. Gets caught in traffic, able to gather. Can't get the roll. Boy, he's had 3 or 4 of those.
That you know it's subservient to you backwards. And that's what they did to the Rockets. The Rockets didn't change in everything that they did. They were shooting the ball and scoring confidently. Some defensively, K-Ray shut them down.
Triples. They've hit 3 of their last 4. Ball comes off to Ayton, gets fouled by Mobley, puts it up and in, and Ayton has a chance for the 3-point play.
But that was a good.
Chris Paul. Ball toward the basket, he draws the foul. Putting a bow on that last thought, AC, the response of this team has been
Go out there and let's hold on to what we've established.
That turnover by the Cavs was number 14 as Paul from the elbow gets a friendly roll. Back to Paul. Paul looks like he has another gear here. He's energized in this third quarter. Ayton ducks.
But that's what veterans do. This is winning time now. He's ready to go now. The Suns doing it to them. So you can correct this situation. You just got to focus more when you get in these situations.
Ball around Windler, gives to Ayton. Ayton puts it up and in and has a chance for three.
Ayton grabbing the rebound. It's a good matchup last season for DA as he takes the feet over the top, able to snare it one-handed.
That was a little too high.
First team with LaMelo, Bay, Edwards, and Tate. Paul on the drive. They give him the lane. Will get him, but DA rocking the house with a thunderous run. Dunn's biggest lead has been 11. Hold a 10-point advantage right now. Book, a little step back. Got it.
Again, the patience.
Not a shooting foul. He was driving to the basket. Paul across. Thought he was grabbed. And finally, he for DA. Paul working the two-man game. Again, able to get inside. Thought he was fouled. Can't get the putback attempt.
Last year. And this year he's shooting under 39%.
Yeah, became the franchise leader in career threes versus Utah. Chris Paul still looking for his first shot to go down.
Yeah, 0 for 7.
Paul on the drive. Gets the pull up and gets one to go down. All 8 of his shot attempts have come inside the paint. Neal 4 of 7 from downtown. He's got 13 off the bench, averaging about 14 in his new reserve role. D8 inside with the spin and finish.
He wanted a foul, didn't get it.
Coming into the game, he's attempted 2 tonight, and he's got them both to go down.
Yeah, 2 for 2. When he left Phoenix and went to Atlanta, he took over 200 threes.
Wow. Bridges on the rebound, putback attempt.
Owl cutting, Nurk finding him. Great bounce pass.
Oh, that was excellent. Blazers on top by 1, off to Ayton into the lane. Ayton slips the screen and he drives right to the cup on a well-laid in 2019. Last year in the opener against Utah, he was 1 for 7. And a few games later, he was 0 for 8. But man, he's able to shake that stuff off. Great shooters have amnesia, as they will tell you. Oh, take. Paul on the inbounds. Booker works the baseline. Paul takes over, 10 to shoot. Again, Nurk shows, recovers. Covington came over to Ayton, but that pass was fired into the air for 3, trying to avoid Booker. Dame is 0 for 2 from 3. Paul off the screen from the elbow. And again, he sees bodies flying at him. And this one comes off long into the hands of Bridges. Chris Paul the other way. Walled off, double team. Diagonals into the corner to Crowder. He drops it in.
Bench ball defense, off the ball help, and then scoring.
18-point Blazer lead. Here comes Ayton rumbling into the lane, going lefty all the way. Nurk's played 21 minutes tonight. Paul lobs it to Ayton. Finds Booker, has a step, dribbling. That is a big-time veteran move, getting Ayton on his back and finishing with the lefty.
He's got all the tricks at the rim.
Paul to Bridges, off the Booker, rocker steps in.
Perimeter. Whether it's Larry catching and shooting, catching, going to a dribble handoff or a drive, he can make plays.
Paul cross court. There's Mikhail for team. That aspect of my game has got to be there as well. I mean, he's total ownership of what they're trying to do here. Chris Paul trips inside and banks one up at it.
Good movement here. Paul guarded by Anthony once again. Paul sings it into Bridges. Shot clock fading. Bridges the fake. Strong. Paul the rebound. 3 boards to go with 8 assists and 11 points for Chris Paul. Paul the lob, and Ayton throws it down.
Yeah, visible.
Still didn't get it, frustrated. Here's Paul. Paul bouncing, taking, and hitting. How about the way Paul is orchestrated tonight?
To be outscored the way they were in the first half in the paint.
Got beat down the floor a lot. But no. Paul shaking Jordan. There's that jumper. 13-point Suns lead. Paul, pull up is good. Chris Paul in the mix.
That first one, but Ayton
why Basemore goes down. AD had him locked up.
Paul hits the mid-range.
Paul calls for the screen, gets around it, probes into the paint, hit him with a little bit of sauce inside, and CP3 with his first feed. Morris on Chris Paul. There's that high ball screen. Great pass by Paul. Ayton missed it at the rim, and here's Jokic. Seasons 2 years ago with the Heat, and last season with these Suns. Ball off the screen. The mid-range is pure. Boy, they have an array
at that for a center, but that's just what he does. Not only can he do that, but he can stop and pop a three and also drop a dime for somebody.
This Paul, everything but the bucket.
Doesn't need it. Has all the money in the world. He could play golf every single day if he wants, but to go back and get his education and contribute to the HBCUs is just huge. So shout out to my guy Swish.
And into the front court, it's CP3. Inside Ayton on the short roll, got it. And we got timeout.
They trailed, did the Lakers, by as many as 31 in that game, although a 31-15 fourth quarter made it respectable. DeAndre Ayton had his real coming out party. There's in the rebound to Ayton. We're just getting going. Nice crowd on hand. I don't know if there's as many as the other night when we had 16,000. Ayton leans in. Rebound goes right to DJ Flatt. Last year, they moved it all the way to the #2 regular season record in the league. They had the best road record, Stu Lance, in the entire NBA. Did this Phoenix Sun team.
10 with him underneath.
DeAndre Ayton goes to the dribble. From the Bahamas, DeAndre Ayton. Corner of the key. Yeah, that's automatic, isn't it? Of Reeves so far.
I like his mind more than anything. I mean, he understands the game. We know that he can shoot the basketball, but he's showing a real awareness of the game itself.
That's pretty good defense, but net for this Phoenix team. They won't sneak up on anybody. Chris Paul bumping into Kendrick Nunn. Chris Paul, stutter step, nearly ran himself, and he knocks it down.
Big asset for this team.
He'll play a lot of minutes if he can shoot the basketball like that. Of course, he has done it his whole career. Nothing but net for Jay Crowder out the front of the rim. Westbrook shooting tonight. He's hit 2 threes, remember. He's 2 out of 4 now. Has 6 points. Pull up by Paul. Got it. Well, he thought he would.
Good job. After the screen, he did a good job of getting his body on Jordan, and Jordan couldn't get in a position to retrieve that lob.
Not a lot of points in the paint tonight, but there's 2 now for Phoenix. That gives them 20 to 68-59.
That's his 4th three-pointer of the game.
Chris Paul answers back with a 2.
When he played offensively, he did a lot of damage because of the penetration in the lobs to use the Lakers.
Especially in those first 4 games. Carmelo rolls around. Shamet controls, of course, came in with the Clippers. That leading scorer, and there is Carmelo. Came in with Denver. Then the much ballyhoo trade to the Knicks, and after that, kind of bounced around the league. Trying to find a home here. Make it 21, and yet another.
Yeah, I think he got away with a shove. Shove that time, though.
Yeah, tough to do it in that regard.
It's only a shove if you get caught, I guess.
Here's now out to Crowder. Crowder started the game, has half a dozen. Nobody in the game in double figures yet. Rebounded Davis after the miss in tight that time by Mikal Bridges. Shooting, they were in the bottom 3rd. They were 21st in the NBA in three-point shooting last year. Phoenix was 7th from beyond the arc. They did a lot of things well. Crowder to the dribble with Davis coming out on him. Now it's Crowder down on the ground again. They're not going to give him a whistle. Of course, they're going to be a little more difficult on that. Look at the block at the other.